Also, kind of reminding me, looking at Khan's lineup with Gilgir most likely going to be playing the Morana. There was a Khan
Gilga.
game, I think we did last week where we had Viking GG go up against Khan, 62-minute game, which was so back and forth the whole time. And Gilgir's Morana was just massively, like, so good.
Not yet. Gilga, honestly, he is as a player, I spoke to him a lot, and
Hmm?
he's a very passionate player, and he always likes to blame himself before he blames others, which can be a good trait because it always allows self-improvement, but it can also be a big kind of negative factor on your own performance. And I know that during his time on HellRaisers, he blamed himself a lot, and when he got kicked from the team, he did kind of just spam pubs, lost like 1,000 MMR type of thing, and he regrouped himself and came back and invigorated himself within Khan. So I think as a player, he's a very passionate player, and I think he's one of the players that actually has personality within this kind of the scene, and he actually likes to show it to people as well. So I think, yeah, props to him.
Yeah, those sounds like some really good traits for a player overall. Like I have so much to like
Mhm.
resemble from him comparing to myself. Like I'm always
Yeah.
super hard on myself, and I usually blame
Yeah.
myself above others. So it's not a toxic way in a sense, because it does like give room for improvement, and also like your teammates usually understand that if you're being hard on yourself, then you always just they come back with some comfort and figure out the problems together. Like you're
As
much
long
more
as your
easier
teammates do
to
that, you know.
yes.
If your teammates are just like, "You're bad, get out of here," it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah, the door's
uh,
there.
yeah, it's ruthless, honestly. Some captains can be ruthless, and other captains can be really nice and forgiving. But normally the forgiven ones are the ones that actually succeed in competition.
Well, there's going to be
But
a
meanwhile,
timber pickup at least, so
yeah, gonna
another
mention that.
target. Yeah, another target
But
for the
it's
Bane ulti too.
yeah, it's like the defensive here. Like when I was describing the concept of what hero you want to play, no way is it like the defensive hero in terms of team fight, but it's the hero that absorbs a lane and is so hard to kill. You look at the heroes right now. Who kills the Timbersaw? Literally no one. There is no
Yeah,
hero that actively will want to kill him. Mirana, you could argue, could buy Vessel, but it's just so weak on this hero. You always want to go for a yours, and this side lane, it allows this Tiny to free up his game. And what does that mean? Oh wait, this Mirana Slaughter lane, which on paper is very good, if the Tiny after level 3 or Timber's level 3 can now suddenly move around the map and do whatever he wants, you now don't care that you have this offset in lane matchup in your safe lane because you know your position 4 is going to come in at some point. So I like the Timbersaw pick, opening up the map to kind of deal with the early counters Khan had in the drafting phase.
true. Like I mean, I think Khan can at some point respond to the Timbersaw threat that we're not going to start losing too many towers. And I think it's really down to the Timbersaw too on how greedy do you want to play, because usually at the 15-20 minute mark is like your first time when you can really just collapse as a 5-man to punish the Timber. But is it really worth it at that point? You got to start weighing, like, do we answer the Timber threat, or are we going to look for an active pick off elsewhere and let Timber do his thing, because he's going to push towers anyway with the creeps and he's just so hard to kill. And with all this physical damage kicking in, it's definitely a hard job, like you just mentioned. Like it's really hard to kill this Timbersaw.
Whoa. Oh, there's a Kunkaban. I think if they picked one more defensive heroes on Hellraisers, I think this lineup is super scary to play into. Because even if Spectre gets to a timing, you're gonna fall off in damage because you do not kill Lifestealer or Timber or this +1. The question is, what is this +1? Could it be like a super tempo based hero? Okay, voice is actually banned. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, Void Spirit
Oh, wait,
could
they're just
have
gonna pick.
won.
Nice. Don't have to predict when they pick. Thanks, Hellraisers.
All right, so Doom will be Hellraiser's last pick. So are we going to
Solid.
see mid Doom or support Doom?
Well, that's the beauty right now is they can put both heroes in both lanes, right? But realistically, knowing Hellraisers, I would expect this to be the Funnic Timbersaw in the off lane, and this will just be a mid Doom. But again, it very much depends on what Calm pick here.
Yeah, they can still swap their lanes into
Mhm.
looking favorable matchups for themselves. But also,
They
if
have
you end
10
up
seconds reserve time. Sorry, they
no,
have
no,
no
it's fine.
reserve time.
They're
What?
really running out of time here. They're gonna go
Yeah.
for
Okay.
Quap.
Yeah.
But I was just
Mhm.
thinking about the Timbersaw.
Yeah.
If you force Timbersaw to play mid, doesn't that
Mhm.
hinder his play a lot, because he loves to play the side lanes?
He also loves to play the mid in the argument of New Age Dooms play mid. They always get gold advantage due to Devour. It's hard to
New
pressure
Age
them.
Dooms.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Yeah.
club.
Exactly. You can sign up if you like. The outfits are great. Look, he's wearing it right now. But yeah, the idea is he gets to zero pressure mid, even against a Quap. You get an extra little bit of regen, and it's about the pressure you apply on side lanes. Doom as an offlaner applies like minimal pressure, if that. But Timbersaw, on the other hand, he level 3, like even level 2, he's like a very scary hero. So it's about meeting their timings. And I'm seeing a very clear timing on HellRaisers draft, which is going to be Lifestealer has, let's say, armlet +1, or even like maybe just an aggressive build paired with the Space Maid from Timbersaw and an early like phase drum BKB on Doom, and suddenly they're just cutting through the ranks of Khan. Because what hero right now, Mr. Panda, stands on the high ground and confidently says on Khan's lineup, "We are fighting here and we are controlling the fight. Please, who is this hero?"
That is very true. There is really no one to just step up
No,
to the task and stand in the
there is
way.
not.
That's a good point. You feel like Khan, can they rely on their Spectre timing, or is this just going to be like a semi-quick finish for HellRaisers? I think it does really go down to the laning stage. It's obviously looking really good for HellRaisers, but for Khan, is a 40-minute game even enough for them? Like, I don't kind of see it how Khan can pull it together unless they demolish this laning stage, and that's already looking tough.
Yeah, I think it's basically what you said. It's about the laning phase and how they can activate their support duo to then run around with the Quap. Because if we're seeing like this Mirana Bane just causing havoc, you ignore the Timbersaw. Like the issue with Timbersaw picks is people feel like they have to, like, you have to gank him or you have to stop him. But that one gank, that one critical move in map movement away from like the true objective, you lose complete map control, right? So it's about ignoring the Timbersaw, shut down the Doom, shut down the Lifestealer, and then when Timbersaw gets his timings, you're like, cool, I don't care, because your carry and your mid are still kind of catching up in the game. I think that's the key way Khan can even get into the mid game with this type of draft.
Well, for HellRaisers, the only scenario that is really acceptable for them is a full 2-0 victory against Khan, so they definitely need to keep their head straight and focus on every single moment of the game, because they can't really give Khan too much of an edge, because they know what's at stake. Like, they can still drop to the lower bracket. They're still through to the playoffs, but you would love to start in the upper bracket, have that second chance. Nice toss from Lil, actually, throwing J4 onto Roche. Roche goes for a bash. Intervening here a little bit. There's a Nightmare as well thrown out, and an arrow will connect onto Non-Grata, but unable to get closer to that as Duraccio is in the way to drive these heroes out. Can they actually contest this rune all the way? Yep, they will.
I think J4 has fallen into the trap of Bane Mirana, which is simply you level Nightmare. That, if you don't get first blood, just makes your game incredibly sad, because now he has no lane pressure against a level 1 Timbersaw, where Brainsap can actually do a little bit of a nuisance factor. So I think J4 is going to be a little bit upset with himself with going for this Nightmare play.
Yeah, that's true. Like, your right clicks aren't going to be enough to harass Timber. Timber started with Whirling Death level 1 though, so he's not like he's immortal at level 1 anyway, even if he starts off with his reactive armor. As you can see, Crystal Maidens are usually told, like, just hit the Timber, like, when you're level 1. Just keep right-clicking, even though you're hitting for, like, 40 damage. Just do it, and you'll still bypass the Timber, and you can actually keep him away from lane. And Phonic's doing a decent amount of damage here, but J4, like mentioned, Nightmare is not really going to be the helpful tool here, so Phonic gets to stay in lane.
It's always one of those lanes where it starts looking promising, and then like level 2, level 3, like, yeah, we're against the Timbersaw. You know, Lil dragging the wave around, securing the XP, like making sure there's no shenanigans possible from the Bane, but likewise, because the Spectre gets a drag behind his tower, we're going to see just equal farm for now, but eventually it will be a Timbersaw favored lane.
Yeah, that should also allow the Tiny to rotate more to maybe not just top, but also put some pressure in mid. Duraccio taking a lot of damage here from Chishercut's hits. Gets bashed up 200 HP. But they don't have a salve in this lane, and Non-Grata's actually put Enchant level 1, which is not bad. Sometimes you see Impetus being picked up against Mirana. The Enchant is really useful for the Lifestealer, though. As you can see, it's just harassing the Mirana, driving him away, and forcing Cheshirecat to intervene.
Yeah, you can see already though they actually blocked off the hard camp to the right of this lane, so making sure Non-Grata doesn't instantly get like insane value from this enchant level. He's gonna have to drop, but luckily he actually has a ghost in the small camp if he wants to get that. Very strong creep.
Alright, yeah, that's a lot of damage, 25% move slow.
Yep, good attack speed as well. Yep, he's gonna go for it now. Farm up the camp. This is
now
very value play that a lot of these supports need to make, is just farming up their small camps. Get as much gold as you can in the early phase of the game where there's not instant pressure on your safe lane.
If Non-Grata can pull it off, those two slows combined can be very deadly for the Slardar, and Non-Grata really wants to go for it, but he has to dodge the arrow coming from Gilkir, tanks it by himself, and now that little Wraith Oh, gets mingled between the trees, gets out of there.
It's gonna die. No. Oh no, Wraith.
Oh, well, it's expired now. Nograda forced to level up
Sad life it
heal.
lived.
Gilger's got some leap charges if he wants to go for the courier, but no. Not go for it yet. Should trading with Slardar. He's looking good. But what about this mid matchup? We haven't really looked at Doom 13 CS. We've also got Mio with 13 CS.
It's all about, like, the Quap will pressure the Doom, but as you can see, he's got the salve on his courier, he's got more tangos and a stick coming out. Like, it's basically an attrition lane in which Doom naturally already has pretty good health regen. So once he gets to level 5, 3 points in Devour, 9 regen now per second. Like, it's going to be a pretty standard lane for the Doom just to continue farming. I think that the key thing to note about the mid lane is what can these heroes do when they hit their level 6, level 7. They get that 4-minute rune, for example, or even 6-minute. It's the Quap can actually make plays on the map. Doom, he's always about farming and waiting for his time. So we're going to see an offset between these two mid lanes in active nature. So hopefully Khan can maybe capitalize on that matchup at least.
Yeah, both at level 4. We've got the Tiny sitting around waiting for the 4-minute action rune to spawn. Looks like he's going to stack a camp as well while at it. A4 is also coming in. Does have that Nightmare now, so if Tiny does come to contest, then that action rune should be going for Quap.
Oh, look at the value Nightmare. He had that leveled from pre-first bounty runes, knowing that this exact play would come in.
But it's going to be Nograda picking up the Arcane, so there was an Ench on the other side. They've really put both supports to focus on that. You're leaving your Lifestealer alone, but Hirachio's actually quite happy right now because he does have that wave under the tower, and he's got backup coming. So we've got Nograda and Lil both coming into the backs towards Khan and Gilgir. Well, Cheshire Cat needs to be careful here. Goes for the stun on Enchantress. Here comes Lil. 135 movement speed. Tossed backwards for Hirachio. Frozen the open wounds and the TP out. Does he have the damage for it? The Shikuchi. Well, not the Shikuchi, but the Hadouken. I always mix those two up.
Unfortunate little bit of a misplay from Lil there. If he tossed first and held the stun to at least, you know, have another stun available, you then pair that with open wounds, you maybe would have got the kill. But either way, pretty good pressure and just locking down this lane. But this is, again, this is the Timbersaw factor. Your Tiny is able to make these plays and become this nuisance across the map.
Yep. And Lil will get the bounty rune just in front of Gilgir. Seeing out a couple of right clicks, doesn't have any spells available. Nice play there with the leap arrow. Doesn't really see the animation break at any point. Got surprised a little bit. But he's fine. And now there's more creeps for Nograda to grab, but Enchant is on cooldown. He's already picked up a Hellbear Smasher. Fisher Cat hiding under the tower. They're going to toss the Hellbear into a clap. Almost connects.
Fair play. I was staring at a ward and a cat tower hitting it, and then you caught the pog play.
Always good to look at the wards.
The tower actually hit the creep, so Nograda should 100% know there is a ward on this high ground. Soon to be dewarded yet, he just pings it out now.
Yep. Bottom lane is really tied up in farm as well, so Funnick closing up on Soul Ring level 4. And Spectre's about to hit level 6, so if a fight does break loose, they have the chance of plussing up with the Haunt.
Naive's actually done a really good job at not truly being too pressured in this lane. Being equal with CS with the Timbersaw, it's a pretty good feat to have, especially when you don't really have much laning presence when you're a Spectre. And yeah, overall, again, you're going to give props to J4 in the early laning phase because of him always keep bringing the creeps around behind the tower and just enabling his Spectre in the small forms that you don't really see in the game.
Gilgir tries to get the arrow once again on the creep, but once again, Nograda, feels like he's played against Miranas a few times here with the Enchantress. Doesn't seem to land those arrows a single time on his creeps.
It's such a sad matchup though. You know, like you have to you send your creep to death, but you know you're gonna. It's like you then don't have a creep. You're like, oh, I don't want to do it, but I have to do it.
Yep, another arrow missed by Gilgir hits the small bird. Not really worth the money for the mana that the arrow costs. There's no... Well, there's a decent amount of mana on Mirana, so still stay around. A4 stacking a camp, but that camp box is actually pretty huge these days, so doesn't quite work out with that.
I think, as they move top, there's a little bit of tickling going
100
on.
movement speed now with the enchant on. That should be maybe enough. A stun goes out. No Impetus Spear still leveled up on Nograda, so Isn't able to convert on this, and here comes Mio. GillGer gets a kill on Non-Grata. That is first blood 7 minutes in, and the infested melee creep on the run away from the big bad fish. And Lifestealer's fine.
Run!
Little Jimmy on the run.
What are you doing, Lil? You're level 2, Buttercup. You're not going to kill anyone. This is not too hot of a game right now from Lil. I saw a tweet that he was joining VP, so maybe he's holding off his XP when he joins that team, but he is level 2 at 8 minutes. That just isn't that good. He's not really done anything. It's an issue.
It feels like a game where he can't really do anything either, but he needs to find a kill soon somewhere, like with any hero that they can pile up with.
No, exactly. I think this top lane is what we're focused on. See here, it's about a pressure in the Slardar, you kill him, and then you get to at least, you know, pressure this top tower, because this Timbersaw, he does what he wants bottom, but I think HellRaisers are going to be kicking themselves a little bit because this Timbersaw hasn't had that instant pressure that you would expect in this lane against Spectre.
Interesting play coming in here as well as GillGer leaps on the high ground right next to the Tiny. Tiny just throws an avalanche. The arrow also misses. J4 did use that nightmare. Didn't quite connect.
And so I find always so refreshing when a Bane, after gank, you're like, brain sap. I didn't kill you, but take this brain sap and I'm out of here.
The frustration.
Bane is one of those heroes. You feel like after a failed gank or two, you kind of feel lost on the map because you don't have this explosive damage. You know, you're always like this setup and enabler. Very aggressive posturing coming up from J4 and GillGer.
They are setting up for mid, and well, there's a level 2 Tiny to be caught. And
level 3 now.
Gets
level
the slow
3.
in. Oh, arrow will connect. J4, throw that brain sap. Sap him. Yes, do it. And there we go. GillGer picks it up.
What a god, honestly. GillGer, he really does.
He is a good Mirana player.
Yeah. To be fair though, they did have a sea of wards showing where the Tiny was.
Yeah, true. That
so it wasn't a true blindy. It wasn't a true blindy.
Oh, here comes the Haunt, actually kicks in. And Naive coming into the top lane to hunt for an Enchantress. Now Lifestealer infests inside. Enchant on the Spectre, 300 HP. And Cheshire Cat might have just overextended. He wants to go up the kill, and he finds Non-Grata. And there's the avalanche from Lil, slowing down the Slardar. And finally Lil. Okay, I was about to say he's getting into some action, but is Cheshire Cat going to be too far away? No, he's still alive. Duraccio still trying to keep up the chase with the Quelling Blades right behind the Slardar. Another stun is available.
Does he know the trees?
Oh, looks for the stun. Oh, he stunned a bit too early. Couldn't do much there.
That's right.
Rumble the space. But
I think the key thing there is the Spectre Haunted didn't find an instant kill on the Enchantress, so now he's going to feel a little bit out of place in the map. He's going to be in this top lane against a Lifestealer. That is not an enjoyable matchup. And now the Timbersaw, he gets to have this free lane and a catapult wave, to be very clear. You just made an aggressive play during the 10-minute mark. This bottom tower will fall. Your jungle will be opened up on the side of HellRaisers. It's a pretty scary move when Khan make that type of misplay.
Not to even talk about, like, we mentioned that if Khan can pull off a very good laning stage, then they might halt the HellRaisers push for a bit of time, like maybe a few minutes. It's a triple net worth lead right now for HellRaisers. Even though the gap says that it's below 1,000, that's because their entire team is between HellRaisers cores and supports. Every single player is in between. And J4 is in trouble. Lil going in, cuts the toss as well. Xani's right there. Misses the stun, however. That was Non-Grata's Centaur, but they get the kill anyway. And Phonic finishes off a tower at the same time. Now they can pressure mid, and you can see that this steamroll is just going. They're just going for more.
Yeah, this is the group up. In terms of Khan, I mentioned it in terms of like who's the guy that stands there and kind of tells HellRaisers, you know, to leave. No one. It's GillGer with a puny arrow, like pew. Oh no, nope, I killed the Centaur, but they're still gonna push. Like, it's difficult right now. You lost bot tower, and now mid as well.
I love the attempt though that they're trying to toss the Centaur and get the Centaur stun.
It's just
but Mirana's tough to catch.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
Now Duracio's TPing towards bottom, noticing that there's 3 heroes on top. Gonna get some space to farm, and once again, there's gonna be the Spectre there in the lane, but at least he gets to pull the I like this. I like this move. That he's pulling his own wave towards a stacked hard camp.
This is
so the wave will also push closer for him too. But they are making a move towards top. There's a DD on Xani. J4 is already moving out. Mio should be able to get out. And Cheshire Cat in the trees. This time he gets the teleport away.
Yeah, this as HellRaisers kind of defend their top tier 1 tower, most likely, again, park their Timbersaw in top lane. The question is, how does HellRaisers punish Khan with these early towers gone? Like, what's their play? Are they going to smoke through the jungle and go for a Doom play? Are they just going to go from tower to tower? Because when you just move from one tier 1 to another, it's very easy for the team against this aggression to just skip away and just farm the open areas of the map. And when you look at Spectre, for example, he's got a Midas queued up. He's happy to sit back and let his entire map fall and then just take that one key, like, 25-minute fight.
So could this actually mean that we could have like a voice line for Spectre from, you remember the Batman movies where Alfred's basically just like some men just want to watch the world burn? He will just watch his own towers fall.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what a great infest. I don't know if you saw that, but that was...
I just jumped away from that, but they get the Fiend script. They've got the Lifestealer, and backup is coming. Sani with a stun, beautifully catching 2. They've got the Doom caught onto Naive, and with the MLS... Well, they've got a sentry down on the ground, but it's only going to show vision for a limited amount of time. Does he know about it, though? He is in hiding. Another sentry. There we go. Spectre is out of play.
Like, so basically, coming into that play, I don't know if you caught it, but, like, the Bane literally had his arms raised fully up. I mean, like, fully up into the skies for the grip. And he just jumped into a creep, cancelling the animation at the very last second, allowing him just enough time to get to the tower and have rage. So it was milliseconds between the difference of Khan getting a good pick off and HellRaisers actually turning it.
Yeah, there was a moment of praise the sun.
Yeah.
Might connect another arrow on the way, and Lil will catch this one, the professional arrow catcher, right into the hands of Gilger and Mio. And the Starstorm will do the job. It's now a killing spree on Mirana, 3-0-0, so doing a decent job here. Pretty good arrows. But still, waiting for the first tower to fall, which Khan would be able to take. However, Quap still... Actually, not only just a recipe away from catching the Orchid.
Yeah, so this Orchid timing, I believe they want to try and make a play onto that Lifestealer. You've already seen before, the moves on Khan are very much Lifestealer focused, and this Orchid will simplify that engagement. You layer the Orchid, the Bane can just run past, sleep the guy trying to come in and save, and you might be able to get a key pick off. And if you can stint the Lifestealer's itemization for about 4 or 5 minutes, that could be the difference between like a Roshan at minute 19, for example, which is a very scary timing if HellRaisers actually convert that. Well, they're all TPing top on Khan, and they're playing for these bounty runes, hoping to try and find one key member on HellRaisers by themselves. But just look at the minimap and the spread right now. Timber's in like the dangerous lane, and then everyone else is just swept underneath their own vision, farming up what they can, and if they get picked off, it's so deep on Khan's side, it won't really matter. So I like the map setup that HellRaisers have right now.
Yeah, like even if it's a dangerous lane for Funning to be in, he's still got his own tier 1 tower that he's definitely protecting. He's been protecting it for quite some time now. He's happy just living here, farming. Enemy keeps on pushing the wave, he just push it back.
Like, do they even have the damage? Oh, TPing bottom on Quap though.
Yep,
interesting.
and there's the Armlet +1 actually, Desolator build.
So Armlet Deso is a very good build for the punishment. It unlocks Roshan, it unlocks early towers, because again, they don't really have good tower damage, but Quap really trying to make plays.
Yeah, smoke coming on the courier for J4, so J4, Cheshire Cat, do they stack up yet? No, it looked like they were moving around there with the Spectre. Spectre can still stay farming and just haunt in when they need to, but they're not getting an opportunity to smoke. They don't have any information. Where are the HellRaisers heroes right now? If you look at the Fog of War, they see nothing. They only see the Doom moving in the top area right now, and they're going to get for an ill surprise because Lil is right next to the Spectre, looking for the combo. And the Haunt just reveals him, and the MLS is used at the same time because there's also non-Grata in the bot lane, and the Nightmare is used on an illusion. Cheshire Cat trying to catch the Enchantress here. Very close to it, gets the stun, and here comes Mio. Yeah, non-Grata is just going to melt here in the hands of these 3 heroes, and there we go, that's 1 down. The rest are on their way, though. Funnick harvesting the entire woods, and they're going to walk straight up to him, but do they have the chance to initiate? Lil, the man with the power. Cut. A4, sentry down, they get the combo on the Bane. Can they blow him up? Yes, they can. And this might just be a tier 2 tower.
This is looking rough now for Khan, especially when you think about the pre-engagement setup. The Quap was blinking in the tree's bottom. As you can see, she's already still here. She was going for that Lifestealer, but the discipline on the Lifestealer to move away from that farm, move to his own tri-camp, and basically offer up the Enchantress. I gotta give props to HellRaisers, and it's very difficult when you're a support and your lineup is about pick-off and skirmish, but you haven't got the wards out first. Oh, bottom though.
Well, they use a Sonic Wave around, and they do find Iracho, actually.
The curse, man. I was actually giving props to this lifestealer about his discipline, and he's there underneath a tier 2. Come on, man.
Yeah, Phonic with Corrosive Haze. He's still got plus 20 armor, but then again, they find the Doom. They've got him, but they can't cancel this Fiend script. There's no way Phonic can do anything about J4. Axani is down. Now Phonic on the run, and this is exactly what Khan were hoping for, to find pickoffs and find several pickoffs in the same way. The bash cancels the Timber Chain, and Timbersaw has been felled for the first time 18 minutes into the game. And I don't know why we're showing XP per minute, but that's not what we need to see.
Alright, take it back. HellRaisers, what are they doing?
What are they doing? This was HellRaisers' game, right?
Exactly. Okay, so in more important point. Oh,
150
hold the
HP.
phone. He had a haster and he's out of there. That was extra cheeky. But it's about the. So Khan just had a good fight, right? You know, they brought 2-3k back in their advantage. You know, life's looking pretty good. But if we speak out vision, that's the critical thing right now. They haven't made any advances on the map, and they still don't actually have any defensive vision out. They're pretty much locked within their own kind of top tri-camp area. And this is a very scary position to be in on Khan when you are playing on the reactionary front. No, exactly. It's a spooky, like, this naive, he has to just run away now. He can't even farm his camp, he's going to move to the top side, and this efficiency in farm, it does deplete again. They're basically waiting for HellRaisers to try and overextend again, which I didn't think they would, but then they clearly did, like 3 seconds after I said they wouldn't.
Yeah. But at least they're holding their side of the map, and 19 minutes now played with the Manta style now. About 1,500 gold away for the Spectre, so looking pretty good. Making progress towards it. This is really what they need, is Spectre not to die. Maybe get a kill or two with a Haunt, because Quap still has a great burst with the Slardar, so they can definitely blow up people. Like if they can get kills on Non-Grata and maybe even Lil's Tiny. So those are things they can look for. But they are losing another tower.
This is a nice play. This is a really nice play though from Khan potentially.
They're going Roche.
Oh, but the instant scan, okay. The nice play has been countered by one scanny boy.
And there's a Deso actually coming on the courier for the Lifestealer. Yep, that's the Deso coming in. And Roche is halfway. Can they intercept this? They've got mass TPs coming in. Gilkir will be here, but they toss Xani into the air instead of the Morana. And now Morana is leaping away with the MLS being popped as well. There comes the Haunt as well. And they're all stacked up and going straight towards the Roche pit. And Naive will take the Aegis for the Spectre. And instantly Khan, they just realize, we have the Aegis. Let's just run away from here. Leave the bounties where they are. Let HellRaisers do what they do, because we've already done enough.
That was actually goddamn amazing.
That was a really good play.
Yeah, it was balls of steel. Like when in this position, I was expecting Morana Quap to try and be a little bit more annoying on the map. You know, go for the split push plays and try and open up the map. Make HellRaisers think about defending their towers so that you have this kind of disparity in positioning. But then Khan, they just go, well, if you're pushing up bot tier 2 and showing everyone, we're just going to go Roshan. This is where Slardar, he's such a high value hero for the Roshan. The question is, does it actually change anything? Because you just put your Aegis on the Spectre, that doesn't really do damage and isn't really joining any fights right now. So sure, you took away the Aegis, but you're not going to gain any map presence from it. It will just simply take away that insane timing of a Lifestealer with Aegis sieging your high ground.
Yeah, very true. I mean, the blink situation at least does help. Oh, look at Lil. He just blinks right next to the Slardar. And Cheshire has been found. Doom is also on his way. There's a teleport available. Axani, how do you blink on top of this guy? I mean, you've already been chasing this same man basically in the same area, but that was on point with that blink dagger. That was exactly where he is. Ooh. No lockdown though. Yeah, when you got these 3 heroes coming in, Quap's easy to just dodge them.
Yeah, the Corp's going for an instant Lincolns. I think once she gets that Lincolns, she will probably be playing on the dire side of the map for most part of the game, simply because there isn't that Doom threat. The question is, how long will it be until you get there? Can you actually get it quick enough to try and open up the map? Because again, we are seeing Khan move around a lot as 5. It is hindering kind of that net worth advantage, and it's a rough one for Khan to really kind of get much on the map. They're only being given what HellRaisers want to give them, right? The lanes that are pushed in, they get. But other than that, it's hard.
J4 uses his 1 charges and a brain sap, gets himself some decent mana. HP actually back, and J4 is at 64 HP, but he's surviving. Lil is holding alive with the help of the Glimmer Cape thrown in by Non-Grata. And Gilgear trying to leap all the way back to the high ground. Still one more charge to go. MLS is available. There's another fight in the bottom side where Mio actually manages to get out. Nongrata dodging the arrow, and nobody to cancel the TP.
Really good for Khan, by the way. The Doom used BKB. Only the Bane died. They got a bounty rune. And Sada was farming mid. Spectre was farming top. Like, this actually is... These are actually pretty decent moves from Khan, yeah. Like, they're just open, they keep continuing the game, and that's the main thing that I keep kind of reinforcing, is Khan need to prolong the game long enough that they can at least get one key item timing on Spectre. And if we look at Spectre, it is going to be the Manta Diffusal. You get onto that Timbersaw, he has no mana. You get onto Lifestealer, he doesn't really have any evasion right now. Like, it's a difficult game if you don't have mana, of course. They have some mana.
Meanwhile in mid, they're going to find themselves a Timbersaw, and Phonic is looking to go down. Fiend's Grip is used, and Gilgear will pick that one up with the Star Storm once again. 5-0-1 now. Queen hasn't died a single time. Mirana hasn't died a single time. Spectre's died once.
Instant smoke though, they're trying to flood the map right now, punish the fact that Phonic just overstepped his mark, wasn't really respecting Khan in any way.
There's a courier coming in from the jungle.
Available.
And you see that Nongrata is probably still around the area. Yeah, exactly. The Ratio will be the target. They got the jump. The Haunt is coming in as well. Mio, he does have a Sonic Web available and will throw it right in the face of the Lifestealer, and he infests inside the little Black Drake, and here comes Sonny, throws in the Doom, and he has Mayo inside it, and they're dropping low on Khan, and they get the toss from Lil, and they are losing heroes. They're going to lose J4 as well. And Naive, can Naive do anything? Gets stunned by the AIs. The Centaur is intervening as well into this fight, and Naive, he will take out Sonny, and they're going to go back in, and can they get anything? Gilgear with the arrow, trying to buy time for the Spectre, trying to juke them on the high ground, and he gets a double kill because Nongrata goes down to the Desolate, and the Dispersion actually is the one that really kills them off.
Yes, use!
Oh, that's a team wipe. That has to be a team wipe. There we go. All 5 dead. Wow.
Alright, like, I don't want to be, you know...
I know I'm killing your ears.
Here, mate. No, honestly, mate, it's fine. Like, I'm good, don't worry. Like, I don't want to be a little bit negative right now on this this quap, but like, they made this play into this ancient area. Really good jump from the Slardar, but where was the Orchid? There wasn't an Orchid follow-up. The Lifestealer didn't have any Manta.
Yeah.
Like if you get the Orchid there, that's a dead Lifestealer. That's a completely different fight. But the Quap just failed to use their Orchid, and suddenly the Lifestealer is going fast off again, and yeah.
Nightmare on top of the Lifestealer, the toss onto Cheshire Kit. J4 also very low here, but they're looking for the tiny kill, at least in the backline. Daracho trying to intervene. Lil and a J4 are both down. Cheshire Kit in between. Phonic gets the stun onto Daracho as well. Mio still trying to form some daggers, but another Infest has been used, and Timbersaw is getting prepared to disengage. And his friends are coming in from the back. Nongrata's there. Xani's there, but Xani's still got 50 seconds until the Doom's going to be up, so he's just going to walk out. And it's a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, this is a scary timing for the Timbersaw, because his kind of like cockiness and arrogance in positioning is now kind of supported by the fact he has this Lotus, and that is the key item, because all the stuns on Khan are like soft stuns that a Lotus will completely mitigate. And yeah, this Timbersaw is pretty much unkillable unless he like runs high ground with 0 stacks, gets chain stun. But yeah, I think again, HellRaisers, they're in the favorable position, and I think Khan, a couple key misplays in a couple crucial pickoffs have now led to them being in a very difficult position to even own the map.
Yeah. Nongrata pretty ballsy here with Queen of Pain right next to him.
Yeah, like position 5s nowadays, they actually don't have to do like anything. You just run around, you get your wards.
They don't have to do anything.
You get like, I'm a 5 player, right? And this is what I've come to the conclusion, right? You literally just run around, you vibe up the high ground, you go, what up boys? They go on you, you're like, cool, my boys are behind me. If you don't die, you're like, ha, now I'm killing. Like, it's such a chill game to play on 5. It's I love support, man. And Nongrata's playing really well in the idea of, if you're picking me off, I have a Glimmer Cape. I'm in your jungle. You're going to use so many resources to kill me.
He's going to tank the bait as Lee's here, and you're going to see the rage on the Haunt coming out. Feed's Grip, however, on the Lifestealer. He's going to need some help, but they also managed to purge off the Feed's Grip, and Phonic is dropping low as well. He's still got that Spare Vessel. Mio with the ultimate, and it does a decent amount of damage, but will Quap be able to follow up? Mio still got 1 more second for the blink, and it's going to be too far away. The Infest Block coming out at the same time, and it's straight on top of Cheshire Cat. Cheshire Cat is down. Xani will find one. He's still got the Doom, still has the BKB. Will chase down Gilgear, force him away. Mio will find a double kill as They've found themselves the Tiny. They've also lost the Bane. And Lightstealer is in a very, very long nightmare here in the river. But Funnick gets the Yules on top of Naive and dodges the arrow even. Spectre still alive, but Funnick will go down. Duratio, Axani, they don't have any mobility right now. The blink on Doom, they can't get to the Spectre. Spectre's gonna TP out. And he's gonna live.
Oh, what is this? It looked like Khan overextended, but then they just didn't because they just ran away. And HellRaisers don't really have stuns. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a 2 for 3 for Khan.
Not too shabby.
1,500 gold, 4,500 XP. They even did 13k compared to 8.4k damage.
This Lifestealer, he has to be really careful though when he goes into these engagements. He's like running deep, getting gripped, and he's like begging for his team to save him. And they're having to like really reach in the fight. And when I say reach, I mean like they're running past the engagement and trying to get to the back lines to stop the Bane gripping. And that type of construct of the fight isn't good.
There's the Doom on Mio, and that should be a quad kill.
See ya! Oh wait, did he change it? No, he didn't. Okay. I expected the Doom to maybe change up his Devoured Creep to take away the Lincolns, but instead he just used the Enchantress to break it for him.
Yeah, it's a smart call there. J4, another nightmare for owning Xani with an aggressive blink. Lil blinks even further and he actually catches Bane with a stun. The toss will go off, and there's the dust. They even catch the Centaur stop, and J4 is in trouble. Funnick just throwing some random shotguns around, not going to quite catch this Bane. Bane will finally go down. And there's only hostiles right in front of the Radiant base. The others are just pushing. Gilgir cutting creep waves.
Yeah.
Spectre pushing bottom.
Khan don't really care because like these kills for HellRaisers aren't leading to like an instant net gain, right? They're not taking a tower, they're not taking Roshan, and you are seeing the positioning where they've already skipped mid and bottom. So honestly, I think Khan, sure, you lost your Quap, then you lost your Bane, but they just farmed like 3-4 creep waves. They're chilling.
Our Cheshire Cat's even using taunts on his illusions to try and...
Lil, you just stopped! Oh, thank you. Oh, God.
Why was that TP so long? Where was he teleporting? It didn't look like it was... He didn't TP all the way to the fountain because he should have been out by now.
Let's just say he TP to an outpost just so it sounds bad, you know? Yeah. I actually have no idea. No, I think he maybe TP... You know what? Counter argument. Not even a try and assume. He just had a long TP, mate. You know, it just happens sometimes. You misclick.
Yeah. It just happens sometimes. I mean, every time in a panic situation, you try to click all the way back to home instead of like outcasting your teleport scroll to take you to the fountain, and you just click on a building and somebody else is already TPing to that building, and you're just like, all right, well, yeah. I just added an extra second to your teleport. Have fun.
Bet it was the Bane as well. Bet it was the bloody Bane. He didn't even need to TP. He needed just to die.
Yeah, he just griefed his teammates. J4 on the run. Lotus Orb, Nightmare. Actually, nicely played there with the Lotus Orb. Nightmare the Bane as well, allowing Xani to get close, and he's right next to him, but he can't spot him. Meanwhile, at the same time, they take down Lil with the Sonic Wave from Mio. And hello, it's Duratio here. He forces the Spectre out. The Haunt will be used as well. Duratio's de-warding. And Gilgir manages to dodge a couple abilities as a Nightmare thrown out as well. The slows are real, though. Duratio catches the arrow, and Cheshire coming in with a blink stun, catching two. The sun is on the Doom. Xani's just melting right now, and he needs to get a little bit of a distance here. The Impetus Spear is coming out. They've also got the 2-man stun coming from Xani. The Doom has been thrown onto Mio, and Funnick wants to chase away this Quap and maybe try and get this kill happening. Meanwhile, Duratio going to catch an arrow from Gilgir. Gilgir is the MVP here. He catches the arrow straight on top of the Lifestealer, and no escape. Funnick getting passed up as well from Cheshire Kid, and another Corrosive Fate, another stun coming in, and Funnick is down. HellRaisers melting apart, and the Spectre is really starting to feel in your bones. It's an ultra kill for Naive.
What are they doing, Panda? What are they? They're just running around like headless chickens.
That's a team wipe.
Yeah.
Look at that XP change.
That is absolutely naughty. And then Lil again getting just little, maybe not picked off, but he's getting tickled at least.
And that might just be. Yeah, this is death number 6. Use that Orchid.
At least he's high level, though. At least he's not level 2.
Yeah, he blinked on the high ground. Now they're guessing, where is he? Ooh. Oh, nope, not yet.
That's right. Oh, they're just gone. That's fine. So, like, that engagement for HellRaisers is all about that instant kind of... They're sweeping across the map. They're trying to utilize their aggressive nature of their heroes. And yeah, sure, instant Roshan. But for HellRaisers, I think the critical thing there is they're not playing cleanly together. You know, they go for a Bane pickoff. He survives. They then back off a little bit. But then they have BKB Doom, and they have the Doom, but they're dooming him underneath the tier 2. Like, HellRaisers, they need to, like, they're being a little bit sloppy. We need to see clean engagements. When you don't have good lockdown in your lineup, it needs to be very succinct in the way that you get a pick off, you know? You blink Doom Quap, you layer it with a tiny stun, you fight from there. But when you're already diving towers and reaching, whilst already getting kited from MLS, from Nightmare, from critical Slardar stuns, it's a very hard one. So I think Khan, they're playing pretty well now on the reactionary Dota, punishing the kind of aggression from HellRaisers.
Odds is going to be up. We've got Cheese on the Spectre. We've got Aegis on the Queen of Pain, and I think that's what they wanted with the previous Roshan as well, that they get the Aegis on Quaps, and she is much more happier with frontline engagements now, since you've got Lincolns, you've got Bloodthorn, and they have spotted their target. It's going to be Funnick. Gets rid of the first minus armor, and Gilgear looking for the arrow. Not going to connect this time, and here comes the Lil. Forcing the BKB actually from Slardar, and they're going to use the Haunt and go straight in. Xani needs to pop his BKB as well, get some distance here. Gesture Cat jumping in the backlines, 2-man stun. They've got Lil, they're looking for a non-crowd as well, and they will take the supports out of the way. 3 heroes gone. They lost the Lifestealer as well. HellRaisers, everything is coming apart for them, and even almost catches the arrow there. Funny because he Timber Chains onto the high ground. No casualties for Khan.
They've crumbled, mate. They've absolutely crumbled. The issue right now is, because of the mistakes they've made back to back, it doesn't matter if Khan don't have this frontline hero, because the Spectre, he has now become this hero. He just runs around, does what he wants. Slardar as well. He has a BKB. He does what he wants. HellRaisers, this Lifestealer, he doesn't want to play Dota into a grip, into an MKB Mirana clicking him. Like, there's so much damage for Khan right now. And
yeah, they don't really care about this repair kit either. And Gesture Kit might just fall, but it looks like Timbersaw's going to go down first. And that was a huge amount of stuns right there. And Doom is also out. HellRaisers got nothing to defend their base with right now. Gesture Kit even lives after all of that damage being dealt on him. That backdoor protection does keep the tower up a tiny bit longer. They're gonna get racks here.
Yeah, this is really good from Khan. I think if you just watch the minimap the entire game, Khan were just holding each other's hands the entire time, deciding we can't do anything. Our lineup isn't built to fight. Our lineup's built to, you know, punish over aggression. And they found their window. HellRaisers gave them the window. So yeah, props to Khan. 1 rack's going to them straight away. 34 minutes.
Yeah, it just looks like this game has been handed over to them now. Like this 5,000 gold lead that HellRaisers had, if they kept up the pressure like in the last game when they were playing against NIP, would have been a whole different story if they were able to hold on to that lead. Gilgear.
They have a dust. And he's dead.
And they have a right click, so Lifestealer
will Gilger's throwing. Alright, counter argument, they're throwing.
That was death number 2 actually for Gilgear, who was 6, 1, and 14 on Mirana.
Look at his inventory, mate. He's got the Vessel for the Timbersaw and the MKB for the Lifestealer. Like, he can literally decide wherever he wants to buy. Like, he's got so much gold, he could go for like more damage, he could go for a Solar Crest to buff up his Spectre and Slardar, he could go for a BKB just to be even more obnoxious in the fights. Like, yeah, really farmed. More farm than Timbersaw actually. Wow.
Yeah, there were 5 heroes of Khan right behind HellRaisers cores, and now it looks like 1, 1, 1, 1. And we're going to see the Haunt, and Doom is almost already 30 HP. Oh my god. Wiley gets taken down by Mio. Non-Grotto, this is half of her HP. Mio's just right-clicking her to death. That DD rune with a blink in. Scream of pain in the face. And then we'll find Funnick as well. HellRaisers got nothing. Tiny's pushing bottom. Timbersaw melts with these right clicks. Quap's almost hitting for 400.
Yeah, that was not a Timbersaw she just killed. I have no idea what hero that was, but that was not a Timbersaw.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it. I mean, this game has gone out of hands completely, and I don't think there's any coming back now.
Wow, the tier 1 tower is actually still bottom. This is where you know that Khan have basically been hugging like this part of the map for the last 25 minutes.
Cheshire Cat's got... Okay, bye-bye.
I think Cheshire Cat also had the same realization as me.
Finally an
wow,
honest,
there's a tower here.
Finally an honest 1v1 going on here with Naive versus Deraccio, and Lifestealer can't fight against the Spectre boy.
Alright, do you think that in a Dota game, like, let's say at the 25-minute mark, like, randomly selects one role from each side, like the 4v4, the 3v3, just get put into an arena and have to just fight, you know? And then, like, they get an extra, like, 1 XP. It's like really, like, 0 value. It would completely deconstruct the whole idea of competitive Dota, and it would never work. But it just sounds great.
Yeah, it sounds
Like
great
during the
in a sense.
tournament, just pop EV no-tail. Off you go, lads. Have a little scrap.
I mean, we were actually talking with Kips in the previous series about what would you think if like we had a TI All-Star game where everybody had the same hero.
Same hero.
5v5 with the same hero. What hero would
only
that
if it's
be?
like
I never
Zeus,
got the
though.
response for it because I said like no Meepo.
No, it just had to be Zeus. Just let them all sit in base and just press whoever hits the 5 ults quickest, you know?
That kind of reminds me, like my good friend, like several years ago when we saw that change to Bloodseeker and Zeus, that Bloodseeker would amplify your damage with Blood Rage, and then he tried it with Zeus, and that Zeus ulti damage with Bloodseeker's Rage. Oh.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. I don't know. I just love Dota for all like the random interactions. Like that's not really a random interaction, but just like the idea of
Yeah.
like Abaddon passive hitting on towers and then tossing people onto like cliffs and it's just so nice. These aren't really interactions; they're just spells, but you get the point. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not bugs; they're features.
Yeah.
Dire scan on the high ground, so they have an idea, but nothing happening just quite yet. MLS has been used as an illusionist cape. Doom sitting in mid.
Oh wait, hold on! You forgot to do the thing. Smoke on smoke action.
Oh.
I got you. Don't worry.
No worries. Glad you're here with me.
I got you that pre-hype.
One smoke runs out, the other one is also, so let's see, now it's a non-smoke action, and there's nothing happening still. Both teams are just waiting for rush.
Yeah, mirroring the warding though, covering themselves from this kind of like middle engagement where they kind of expected the teams to appear from. Yep. I think the vision though does favor Khan because it does kind of gravitate towards Roshan, and that is the key objective right now. It can respawn within the next minute, and you can see Khan shuffling around a little bit more, trying to hold up this high ground.
Did you notice that Gilgear's sponsor is learning from Crit?
Yeah, he's learning from Crit, mate. He's got an idol. Do you think he gets paid by Crit to put it there? Crit sends him like a cheeky tenner, you know, every month.
Oh yeah. Well, we're still waiting for something to happen. The 40-minute runes might be worth the conflict, but they break the infest.
This is not good though. Like, when the game gets slow like this, people just get sloppy. Like J4 here, running through this middle part.
Oh, let's see J4. Yeah, he's being chased up. There we go with the haunt, and the arrow will be caught on the Enchantress. So it goes straight on top of all of HellRaisers' heroes. And they've got the feed script. Duracio's going to go out. He's gone for 90 seconds. They also find themselves Lil's Tiny and Xani trying to make a run for it. 3 seconds for the Blink Dagger on Cheshire Kid. Can they find him? They got the dagger. Oh. Gets himself away. Meanwhile, Funnick is trying to draw attention towards the bottom lane. Mio, he finds the Timber Saw, throws in the dagger, but do you have anything to cancel the TP? No, you don't. But your wave is pushing inside the high ground. That means that Khan can go straight for it, and HellRaisers might just have to force some buybacks, but can they do enough with it?
But what's the value of their buybacks? You don't have this hero like that instantly gets into the
exactly.
fight, right? They're gonna have to buy back TP, and it's gonna be awkward.
Somebody add an Enigma quickly into the game so they have a chance. Nightmare onto the Timber Saw. He's being held in place. Xani on the back. He's still got Doom available. Goes for the blink stun. Misses. Chiserket manages to dodge that one. The arrow misses as well. And they find J4. J4 taking a lot of damage here as well. And Naive is also doomed up right now. So they might just get the Spectre kill because he can't use the cheese. And he's gone. 2 heroes gone from Khan. And HellRaisers are holding their high ground together. Just barely, but they find themselves the kills that they need. But it's coming at the cost of the buybacks from Lil and Duraccio. Neo is still here. Lil won't get anything else except a glimpse from Queen of Pain's eyes.
Like, I don't know what Khan are doing. Like, this is the beauty of tier 2 and 3 Dota. Like, it isn't as clean and beautiful as tier 1, of course. Like, right now, they're diving onto the Timbersaw, but Roshan's spawning. Like, I'm not saying this is like some beautiful comeback from HellRaisers right now, because in no way should it become one. But it's the fact that they make that play, which gives HellRaisers potentially this Roshan and an avenue to kind of create a comeback. And when you're in a like already that kind of winning position, these small mistakes, they can cost you the
He's
game.
being initiated on Cheshire Cat's here. Mio is also here, still holding on to the Bloodthorn because that Lotus Orb is about to run out. Dust gets stunned up. He's got the Yules. Non-Grata coming into the rescue as well. 2 heroes here and they need more. The Infest Bomb is coming on top and Slider dropping really low on HP, and there's the Sonic Wave, and Phonic is almost coming down. Phonic is still getting away with a 40 HP, and he's getting out, and Cheshire Cat is hiding in the trees, going for the TP out. Mio is being held inside the MLS, but he will take down Lil and blinks into the trees to teleport away. Gilger being chased by Xani, and Khan will only... Wait, they will only lose 1 hero. It's a 1-for-1 trade in the end. What the hell is going on, TeaGuv?
So basically, what Khan were trying to do there is force a fight so that HellRaisers didn't go to Roshan. They realized that they made a mistake and they were trying to cover it with early aggression. The question is, okay, that is good. Yeah, so Khan, they buy just enough time, which means Spectre, when he's alive, he has Horn. The value of his, like, respawn is insanely high. Again, because it's Spectre. So now HellRaisers, Tiny's dead for 70. They don't have 2 buybacks from 2 heroes. And they can't go Aegis. So kind of covered their own mistake with this aggressive play. It looks a little bit clowny.
And they're going straight to Roche. They're going to steal Roche right away from the eyes of HellRaisers.
This is actually, this is not too bad. I like the little adjustment there from Khan, covering their mistakes.
Oh
actually,
no, time is short.
Very short, mate. Slaughter. Level 18, level 22 Slaughter, level 3 amp. You don't mess with that.
Ugh. 24 armor on the Corrosive Haze, and then you've got the Solar Crest for 8.
Oh, the little Twitch chat members will love it. 32, 2.
Yeah.
And another 2, just for extra 2ing.
Twitch chat is filled with happy people.
I just love these games where it's like they all get a little bit angsty over like F10Ks and stuff. I live for it, you know.
Yeah.
Caster said that this team was good. Why did they not go F10K? I'm really sad now.
2K casters, lol.
Yeah.
I mean, waiting for the 966 to happen.
Yeah,
that's where things get interesting.
Where you at now, kids?
Well, with that tier 1 tower that they took earlier on here in this bot lane, they get to push towards the tier 2. So that's another objective in their eyes. That's the last outer tower for HellRaisers. Khan still got a tier 2 in the top lane, which I don't know how they've been able to hold on to that for so long. Gilger's got a Desolator on the Mirana. But good for
man. Look at him. He even got the bloody Aegis, mate. This guy, he's going to be clicking. He's the siege machine.
Gonna be clicking. Who picked up the Axe buff, by the way? It's on the Spectre.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Extra cheeky little horn, all for free. Do what you want when you want. Obviously, there's a couple cooldowns in that, but realistically, you can do what you want.
Oh, they're going to go in. Little goes for the toss. They can't get the Sanas on in time. He's going to go down, and he's already out for the count. And Naive is getting pushing away with the Sonic Wave, but Spectre still fighting in the middle. And they've got the Fiend Script on top of the Lifestealer, but they've lost one. And Haunt is coming back in with the Axe buff. And Lifestealer still 300 HP. Another stun, and he's out. He's gone for 120 seconds. Running to be chased down by Chishurket as well. And he walks straight into the arms of Naive and Mio. And that's 4 heroes gone. And Non-Grata, they're even saying they're all dead, because that's a reality right now. 4 heroes gone from HellRaisers. GG is called. Khan, take this game, TeaGuv.
Look at him go. Like, look at Khan. I doubted them a little bit to start with. I was worried that they would lose focus in the game and not really have anything to kind of battle up against HR. But then 2 to 3 key mistakes from HR. Khan beautifully punished them. They moved around the map. They kind of identified the fact that they can't make any plays, and they always hugged each other, punished this Timbersaw a couple times when he kind of went too far, and overall, I gotta give props to Khan for just really sticking through it, and eventually just outplaying the hell out of HellRaisers. So many Slardar stuns were like, mwah! And then Gilger, he was a farm boy. But, you know, I could list something for all the players. They were not too shabby from the Khan lads.
Yeah, you could put that. Gilger did more damage than Lifestealer. He did more damage than Doom. He almost out-damaged the Timbersaw. On the Mirana. Pause for Mirana.
Yeah, he's a pretty strong lad. But to be clear, though, there was the first 15 minutes wasn't too hot from the lads. You know, like they misplayed a couple key pickoffs. The Quap did have a couple errors, so there was a sloppy portion of the game where if Khan were up against a more conditioned team, then I could see this being being dismantled. But the fact that after their mistakes, they identified them and then adjusted correctly to allow for the punishments to come in, that's where you have to give props to Khan. But again, you have to be very careful that they have to close up their first portion of the game, that laning phase and entry to mid game, because that's their weakness right now. And their mid-late game, wow, that was beautiful stuff.
That was some really beautiful stuff, and that also means that HellRaisers' chances for the upper bracket are in peril. So even with a tie, it might not be enough for them, but we'll have to see. We're going to jump into Game 2 after a tiny break, so stay tuned.